everyone, ReeferGil here. When I go away on vacations, I found that this little piece of equipment that I've made out of a Rubbermaid container to collect the waste out of my skimmer has come in very, very handy. It is very, very simple to make. They sell these type of containers on bulk reef supply for about $160. However, using my Apex, a float switch like this, I was able to make this container for a fraction of that price, and I'll show you guys what I've done. The purpose of this container is to collect the skimmate coming out of the skimmer through this hose and down into this container. Of course, the container is going to have to be lower than the skimmer itself so that the skimmate can come down through gravity fed type of process. Once the skimmate starts to come into the container and it's not attended to in time, if the skimmer produces enough skimmate to fill this container up, that's when this float switch is going to kick in. It's going to be pushed up, and that's going to tell the aquarium controller to shut off the skimmer to avoid any kind of spills while I'm gone on vacation. So once you've gone to the store, you've decided on the size container you want, you're going to bring it home. The first thing you're going to do is go ahead and drill 2 holes at the top of the container, one to match the diameter of your hose that goes into your skimmer's collection cup, and the other one for your float switch. The reason I did this at the top is because these float switches that I have do not create a seal. So if I put it on the side and the level raised to that point, it would leak through the side a little bit until the float switch caught and turned off the skimmer. So that's why it's at the top. Once I've done that, what I've done at the end of the float switch's wiring here is I've attached these 2 quick disconnectors, and I'll show you the other end of the connectors on the breakout box of the Apex. Here's a breakout box for my Apex. Currently I only have this one float switch connected to it. It's in the L1 position here at the bottom, and it's the red wire. At the end of the red wire I have the female insert for the quick disconnect, and then the ground is on the opposite end here, and that's the black wire also with the female quick disconnect. So I'm going to go ahead and connect these 2 to the male connectors of the float switch. The black wire goes with black, the red wire goes with red. I just push them in, and the reason I do this is just because I don't have this connected all the time. It's only when I go on vacation, so it's just nice to come in, connect them when I leave, and then when I come back, disconnect it real quick. So there it is. That's now connected to the Apex unit. We'll go over here to the collection cup. We'll take the hose here, and we're going to go ahead and place that in the collection cup of the skimmer. Go ahead and remove this cap here. Insert the hose. And then this cap here, we don't want to lose that, so I have a little pouch where I put it in so I don't lose it, and I put that away. So now what's going to happen here is all the skimmate that goes in the collection cup, instead of collecting in the collection cup itself, it's going to gravity feed down this, down this tube and into the container down below. That obviously gives me a lot more volume to collect as far as skimmate once it comes into here. If the skimmate gets to the point where it touches the float switch, I'll go ahead and simulate that. I'll simulate the skimmate filling up this container, and then we'll look at the skimmer itself. The Apex has told the skimmer to shut off, and it'll remain turned off until somebody actually comes here to inspect what's going on, fix any issues, and get it back online. These are the commands I have for the skimmer on the Apex unit. I have it set to fall back on, set on. If Eheim return is off, then off. So if the Eheim return turns off, it starts filling up the sump area, the skimmer is going to shut off as well. And then here's the part where we jump in here, is if switch 1 is closed, then off. And then it's going to defer 15 minutes before the skimmer turns back on after it's been turned off. Now after you've connected everything, if you decide to do something like this and you're like, wow, ReeferGil, it's not working for me. What am I doing wrong? The one thing I forgot to mention is on these float switches, this is where you want it to read where it's closed when it's in up position. If it's not turning off for you, then what you want to do is go ahead and take off the bottom clip here, flip the float around, and then put the bottom clip back on, and now that should be the closed position here, because you could have the closed position here or you can have the closed position here, and it depends on the orientation of this float which way it's going to go. So this is what we basically built. This is an example. It's a reef octopus waste collector. It has its own float switch right in here. It has an area where you can put carbon in so that you don't come home to a house that smells like fish poop. And it's a standalone unit, so you don't need an aquarium controller to run this unit, but it is $160, and like I said, for less than $15 we can make our own with a float switch if you have an aquarium controller or something that would activate that float switch to turn off your skimmer. If you're only gone for a few days, you may consider running the waste collector without the float switch. However, it is an awesome redundancy to prevent any kind of spills having that float switch on there. That'll do it for this video. As usual, please hit that subscribe button if you're not already subscribed to the channel. Leave comments down below. We'll see you guys next time. Thanks for watching.